So last Saturday, my dad decided it was finally time for me to learn how to drive stick. You know, a rite of passage in our family, somewhere between grilling your first burger and learning that the electrical panel is not, in fact, a suggestion. He woke me up at 7 a.m. sharp, because apparently, the best time to teach someone to operate a manual transmission is when they're still half dreaming about being chased by a giant, vengeful clutch pedal. We hopped into his ancient Honda Civic. He calls it old reliable, but the only thing reliable about it is the way the passenger seat ejects loose change every time you hit a pothole. We were cruising through the neighborhood, Dad giving a running commentary like a low-budget driving instructor: clutch in, shift to first, clutch out, feather the gas, no, not that much gas, okay, now you're just revving for attention. Things were going fine until we approached the intersection by Mrs. Patterson's house, which, for reasons unknown, is always surrounded by at least 3 yapping chihuahuas and one guy power walking in Crocs. That's when I attempted my first real start on an incline. I stalled the engine so hard, I think time itself stopped for a second. The dogs barked, Croc guy paused, and Dad muttered something about should have bought an automatic. Now, I wish I could say it got better, but instead, I managed to jam the stick shift squarely into reverse, like, it wouldn't budge. Every time I tried to fix it, the car would lurch backward a few inches, inching us closer to becoming an impromptu parade float for the world's slowest, most confused parade. By this point, a line of cars was forming behind us, and my neighbor Jeff started directing traffic with a rake, while Mrs. Patterson brought out lemonade for the show. My dad, ever the optimist, kept saying, "It's fine, just breathe." Everyone stalls at first, which would have been more comforting if we hadn't been stuck in reverse for 45 minutes. Eventually, the entire neighborhood was gridlocked, Croc guy was offering driving tips through the window, and those chihuahuas started a group howl that sounded suspiciously like laughter. Dad finally called a tow truck, and as we sat waiting in reverse, he patted my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, kid, you'll get the hang of it. Just remember, life's a lot like driving stick, you think you're going forward, but sometimes, you just get stuck in reverse and end up stalling everyone else's plans. So yeah, if anyone asks how adulthood is going, just tell them I'm taking it one gear backward at a time."